Hey, this is Audra James here, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the strategies of creating a daily mode of operation and what it is that you are going to have to do to be successful in this business starting from day one. So, as you see, I have this graph here, and I have on the left side of the graph active prospecting and content-based attraction marketing. So what do I mean by that? Active prospecting is when you're going out and you're talking to people and you're asking them, you're finding out if they're qualified, and then once they find out they're qualified, you ask them if they're interested in joining your opportunity, and you work with it that way. That involves meeting new people. And you can do this with your warm market, which is people that you already know, and you can do this with people that you don't know, and that's called your cold market, right? And so you're actively prospecting on a regular basis. And then there's content-based attraction marketing, which is what you do online to brand yourself in order to get people to come to you as opposed to you seeking them out, right? So instead of you seeking them out and talking to them, they're coming to you. You're like a magnet, and they bring you, and these people are drawn to you based off of who you are and what you've given out into the marketplace, right? So, with that, you've got today's results and tomorrow's results. What I mean by that is there are things that you do today in order to get results today, and then there are things that you do today to get results tomorrow. The reality is you absolutely have to do both, and I'm going to explain to you what that is right now. So, for active prospecting, you've got tomorrow's results. What are you going to do today in order to make those individuals become not your cold market as you see here, but your warm and hot market in order to get those leads and sales? Well, take Facebook, for example, or any other kind of social media. You friend and follow those individuals. You chit-chat with them. You have first contact and then second to fourth contact, making friends, getting to know people. You use form, which is you figure out who they are, their family, right, their occupation, what do they like to do for fun, for recreation, and then what do they like to do for, what do they do for money, right? You find a problem through that conversation that you have with those individuals. If they say they have a problem or admit they have a kind of a problem and you have a solution for that problem, whether it be weight loss, whether it be trying to get leads for their business, whatever it is, at that point, then they move over to your warm market and become today's results. I'll explain that in a second. The other thing is group engagement. When you go on to Facebook groups or you go into meetups, which is an offline strategy, and you're out there talking to people, you're engaging people, you're getting your name out there, people are noticing that you're commenting, you're following up, you're answering people's questions, and they're getting to know you, and then you're getting to know those individuals. All of that is putting your name out there so that when you go to friend and follow someone, they're likely to then want to chit-chat with you and talk to you. Then you move into what I call today's results, where these people become your warm and hot market. Then after that third to fourth contact, and they have declared a solution, or you've gotten a good rapport with them where you've become friends, you can ask them if they're willing to open up to a new opportunity, if they'd like to view a presentation, if they would like to check out a particular product. I say, for example, I remember you saying that you wanted to lose weight and you were having an issue, and you know what? I, or friends of mine, check this out, and we did this and we got these results. If you're interested in knowing what that is and checking it out, great. If not, no biggie, no big deal, right? So that's what you're saying to those individuals who's your warm and hot market. And because they've become your warm and hot market, they're most likely to say, yes, I'll check that out. Versus you meeting someone, hi, my name is Audra. Nice to meet you, Joe. I see that, you're in this weight loss group and I've got this great product. Here's the link. Right? Doesn't work. You want to invite those individuals to trainings, to special sales. As you're asking questions to individuals, you're following up with them on a regular basis, because sometimes somebody will say no, and or maybe it's not the right time for them, maybe they don't have the money, whatever the objection is, and then you follow up with them on a regular basis, and eventually they may say yes. They say it takes 10 to 12 approaches for that person to then say yes. And then also for today's results, you would do a strategy that I call the Facebook group ads, where you put an ad in various Facebook groups, and I mean Facebook groups that are lend themselves to ads, right? There are specific groups that are set up for business opportunities, where that's all that is. You'll find in that group is various business opportunities, and there's a special way to approach putting content in those groups in order for you to get leads today. So that will happen today, and that's something that we can go over later. Now let's get into some content-based attraction marketing. For tomorrow's results, these are things that you want to do in order to get results that's going to grow over time. You're creating blog posts and syndicating that out for people to see. You're creating motivational content and you're putting that on social media, maybe on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram. You've got a personal story that you tell, or you've got a lifestyle post talking about what you do and how you do it on a regular basis, that you're able to take the day off to hang out with your kid, or you're able to go on vacation and take the kids to Disney World, whatever it is, right? Those results is what's going to brand you, what's going to get people to know, like, and trust you, and then that's what's going to really bring them to you. That's the magnet that brings them to you to say, hey, I saw this lifestyle post that you did. What is it that you do? Right? And then that's when you can, go offline and answer that question, and then they become your warm market. For today's results, you've got different things that you can do as well. You've got curiosity posts that you pop in for someone to ask, what is that? How did you do that? Right? And then that's when they do that, you can contact them individually to send them, your presentation or whatever links, or explain it to them. Sales links. You do put out stuff where you are directly selling something, and for those people who have already gotten to know, like, and trust you, they would be your warm market, right? Those are the people who would purchase that product, Then you've got free training and free training invites. So you've got this free training or free content that you're giving away that's valuable for people to be able to use to help them with whatever problem they have to solve. But then you're also inviting them to free training, and that free training invites will ask them for some information from them, most likely an email address, for you to market to them. So they give you their email address for you to give them permission to market to them. That's getting a lead today, right? So you're giving them free training, you're not selling them anything, they get the free training, in exchange they give you that email and permission to market to them later. And that's when it takes up the 10 to 12 times for them to see the various content that you have, both free and then the sales offers. And it might take 10 to 12 sales offers for you to then actually make a sale. So these are the kinds of things that you have to do today and tomorrow. Now, when do you do all of this? Today. Okay? Now, let me go back for a quick second. All of these tasks are part of your daily mode of operation. Now, before you go into, oh my God, this is a lot of work. First of all, yes, it is a lot of work, and it can be a lot of work, but there is a way to parse out that work and to do that work so that it doesn't seem like you're taking 5 hours out of your day in one fell swoop, sitting, on a computer or on the phone and doing a whole bunch of stuff for 5 days, right? For 5 hours in a day. That's not the way this works, okay? It's a little bit at a time. Sometimes you might take some time over the weekend to create some content and then distribute it over the week. You have a goal to friend or follow maybe 10 people a day. So although this looks like a long list, it's actually not. And it can take maybe an hour a day, even spread out during the day, so that you can do these things on a daily basis. The big key to doing this, though, is not only are you doing this on a daily basis, you're doing it consistently. The consistency is way more important, okay? You will start to get traction and not know it, and that's the big deal, right? You don't even know you've got that traction, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later somebody pops in and they buy something that you had to offer, or they ask you a question of what is it that you're doing, and then they're asking you questions about your business opportunity. You're like, wait, where'd that person come from? Well, they've been following you for 2 weeks. You didn't know that because maybe they didn't like or click on anything that you liked, or maybe they're just looking and they lurked around, right? So, today, I also want to show you this because I think that this is something that I think that a lot of newbies miss. And this is a graph of exponential growth. And what I mean by that is that as a newbie, you're at the bottom of this graph, right? And as a top earner, as an expert, you're going to be here. So it's going to take you a while to actually build up the momentum, and you might not see any results at all in the very beginning or very little results, and then all of a sudden it will start to grow exponentially. Why is that? Well, first of all, time. If you're doing things consistently, then people are seeing a bunch of your content over and over and over and over and over again, influencing them, and you're in their brain, right? And then you've got fans or people that follow you or people that are interested in what you have to offer. And you have your list, right? So you start to grow your list. You start out with a list of 1 or 10, and then you grow that list to 100, and that list grows to 1,000, right? And then you have that list, and that grows over time. So the bigger your fan base and the more time you have, as long as you're consistent, your growth is going to be exponential. The other piece of that is, and let me explain to you what that growth is, right? That growth is money, okay? You are going to make more and more sales over time. Here's the big key. This is a beginner, this is an influencer, and this is a top earner. As a beginner, you don't have a lot of results to show for it. You have a tiny little bit of results, but not a lot. So maybe you start off with nothing and you promote other people's things. Then you go into saying, wow, I got these results, and I made the leaderboard for the first time, or I made a sale, or I got 10 leads. And people go, oh, hey, how'd you do that? I want to know how you do that. And so then you teach other people, right? And as you teach other people and as you grow, you then become an influencer. And now you're somewhere over here, where over time, you've told people what you've been doing and how you're doing it. You're talking about your successes, not only other people's successes, which is mostly in the beginning, but now you're talking about your successes. And your fan base starts to grow because people want to know what you're doing and how you're doing that. And how cool is that, right? And so then you teach other people how to do that. And as that happens, you are starting to earn exponentially, where you become a top earner, where you have such a large list and such a following that you literally can put a link out there to say, hey, guys, check this out. And the next thing you know, you've made thousands of dollars in an hour. Yes, that can happen to you. Can you get things happen automatically when you're a beginner and influencer? Absolutely. But chances are it's not going to happen with the, and 99.9% of the time, it's not going to happen the same type of success as a top earner. Now, why am I bothering to tell you this? This seems to be super obvious. Well, here's the reason. A lot of people talk about, let's take a webinar, for example. Oh, I created this webinar, and in 2 hours, I made $10,000. Great! And you can do it too. Great! You can. Oh, I started this new system, and I made X amount of money in such and such a time. Great! Yeah, you can do it too. Can you do it? Absolutely. Are you going to get that exact same result the first time you do it or the first time you try? Absolutely not. So what I'm trying to do here is set your expectations. But I also don't want you to not have hope or to think that when people are talking, they're giving you a scam. That's not the case. What they're trying to do is to tell you what the possibilities are and where they're at and how they've gotten there. And they're going to teach you how they got there. They're not saying you're going to get there immediately. They're going to teach you how they get there. Now, are some systems better than others? Are there some ways that you can build that following faster? Are there different skill sets? Absolutely. And that's where I come from, from a place of, here, I don't want you to reproduce my mistakes. I don't want you to take the same path I'm taking. I want you to take a quicker path. So I'm going to give you the shortcuts, right? And so that's what this training is all about. That's what I'm trying to teach on a regular basis. And so that's why this is just the beginning, right? The things that you are going to learn in terms of the training that you purchased and the systems that you purchased and the business model that you want to get into, it all follows this. And we're going to teach you how to get to here, to top earner, very, very quickly. But I want you to understand that everybody starts at the beginning, and you're not going to skip to top earner very quickly. You're going to have to go through these steps to go through the line, okay? You're going to become an influencer before you become a top earner. Can that happen quickly? Yes. How can that happen quickly for you? It depends on you. And this is where I start to tell you, this is going to be hard work, okay? I am not the person to lie or to cut any chases or to sugarcoat it for you. You want to be a top earner. Can you work 2 to 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and just chill on the beach while money rolls in? Absolutely. Is it going to happen to you in the first week of business? No. Okay? So, but can you get there? Yes. And am I committed to helping you get there? Absolutely. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you have any comments, then please let me know. And please, if you got any value from this, absolutely share it. because sharing is caring, and I'm trying to help as many people as possible have the life of their dreams. Talk to you soon.